Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, When Corky Decided to Take Over My Chair While I Was Working. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Every morning, my workday begins the same way. I make a cup of coffee, open my laptop, and sit down at my chair. The chair I believe belongs to me because I bought it, adjusted its height, and spend hours sitting on it trying to meet deadlines and finish tasks. And every morning, Corky watches me do all of this with quiet focus, as if he is taking notes. Corky is my dog, my shadow, and apparently, my unofficial office manager. He has a talent for appearing calm and innocent while secretly planning chaos. On this particular morning, he lay on the floor beside my desk, chin resting on his paws, eyes half closed. If you didn't know him, you would think he was asleep. But I knew better. Corky never truly sleeps when I'm working. He waits. I started typing, lost in emails and to-do lists, when I realized I had forgotten my phone on the kitchen table. Stay, I told Corky, pointing at the floor. He looked at me, blinked slowly, and wagged his tail once. The universal sign of I hear you, but I will do whatever I want. I stepped away for less than a minute. When I came back, my chair was no longer empty. Corky was sitting on it. No, not sitting, occupying. His entire body was curled perfectly into the seat, back straight, paws tucked, tail wrapped neatly around him like he had always belonged there. He looked up at me with wide eyes, ears slightly tilted, wearing an expression that said, "Oh, was this your chair? I thought it was the community chair." I stood there stunned. He didn't move. He didn't apologize. He didn't even look guilty. Instead, he sighed, as if I were the one interrupting him. "Corky," I said, trying not to laugh. "That's my chair." He tilted his head. The head tilt is his strongest weapon. It turns annoyance into affection in less than a second. I reached out to gently guide him off the chair, but he immediately curled tighter, making himself heavier in a way only dogs know how to do. It was like trying to move a very cute, very stubborn cloud. That was the moment I realized something important. Corky had made a decision, and that decision was to take over my chair for the rest of the morning, or possibly forever. At first, I tried negotiation. I offered treats. I promised to walk later. I explained, calmly and professionally, that I had work to do and deadlines to meet. Corky listened patiently, eyes focused on my face, tail gently tapping the chair. When I finished, he yawned and slowly lay down, using the armrest as a pillow. That was his final answer. So I pulled another chair from the kitchen and sat beside him. My posture was awkward, my back uncomfortable, and my productivity dropped immediately. Meanwhile, Corky looked like a CEO who had just won a long meeting. Every few minutes, he glanced at me as if checking whether I had accepted the new arrangement. As the hours passed, I noticed something unexpected. Corky didn't just steal my chair. He changed the entire atmosphere of my workday. Instead of staring at the screen nonstop, I found myself taking breaks to watch him stretch, reposition, or softly snore. When he dreamed, his paws twitched slightly, and his ears flicked as if he were chasing something wonderful in his sleep. At one point, he rolled onto his back, legs in the air, completely trusting, completely at ease. My stress, which had been building quietly all morning, began to loosen. Emails felt less urgent. Tasks felt more manageable. The room felt warmer, calmer, more alive. Of course, Corky took his role seriously. When I sighed too loudly, he opened one eye. When I stopped typing for too long, he nudged my knee with his nose, reminding me that I was still there. When a video call started, he sat up straight, ears alert, as if he were also part of the meeting. I swear he nodded once. During lunch, I finally reclaimed the chair, briefly. The moment I stood up to grab my plate, Corky was back in it, faster than I thought possible. I laughed out loud this time. There was no point fighting it anymore. The chair, it seemed, was never truly mine. It was simply my turn to use it, when Corky allowed. As the afternoon light softened and the workday slowly came to an end, Corky finally jumped down, stretched deeply, and walked away as if nothing had happened. The chair was mine again, but somehow it felt different, emptier, quieter. When the workday ended, I sat back in my chair and thought about everything that had happened. On the surface, it was a small, silly moment, my dog taking my chair while I was working. But like many moments shared between humans and animals, it carried a deeper meaning if we were willing to notice it. Quirky didn't take my chair out of defiance or mischief. He took it because he wanted to be close. Because he saw my workspace as part of our shared world, not something separate. To him, work was not a wall that divided us. It was simply another place where connection could exist. In our modern lives, we are often overwhelmed by screens, schedules, and constant pressure to be productive. We sit in our chairs thinking about the next task, the next goal, the next problem to solve. Animals like Quirky don't understand deadlines, but they understand presence. They remind us, gently and persistently, to exist in the moment. The lesson from that stolen chair is simple but powerful. First, allow space for companionship, even during busy days. A pause to smile at your pet, to touch their fur, or to simply share a quiet moment can reset your emotional balance more effectively than any productivity hack. Second, learn from their boundaries and instincts. Quirky claimed the chair confidently, without anger or guilt. He knew what he wanted and expressed it clearly, something humans often struggle to do. Finally, remember that coexistence between humans and animals is built on patience, empathy, and shared space. When we stop seeing our pets as interruptions and start seeing them as partners in daily life, everything feels lighter. Work becomes less heavy, time feels kinder, and a simple chair becomes a place where love, trust, and understanding quietly sit together. That day, Quirky gave me back my chair. But he also gave me something far more valuable, a reminder that success in life isn't just about getting things done, but about who sits beside us while we do them.